Every designer who has successfully solved the 18SQM problem begins from the same place. Not from a list of furniture solutions or storage innovations, but from one fundamental reorientation of how the space is understood. The principle is this: in an 18SQM apartment, there is no wasted dimension. Every surface, every height, every corner, every threshold between functions is a design opportunity, and the apartment that feels impossible is almost always the apartment where this principle has not been applied, where some dimensions have been used and others left unaddressed. Floor area is the most obvious dimension, and in 18SQM, it is the most constrained. Vertical height is the second, and in most 18SQM apartments, it is almost entirely unused. The space between the top of the furniture and the ceiling, an empty volume that could be holding everything that currently makes the apartment feel too small. The threshold between functions, the zone between sleeping and living, between kitchen and dining, is the third and the one most consistently wasted, left as a corridor rather than designed as a transitional space that serves two purposes simultaneously. Once all three dimensions are addressed, the 18SQM apartment stops being a parking space with furniture in it and starts being a home. In an 18SQM apartment, vertical space is not a bonus dimension. It is the primary resource, the one that compensates for the floor area that cannot be added and the walls that cannot be moved. The designers who solve 18SQM most effectively think vertically first and horizontally second. Storage climbs to the ceiling because the ceiling is where the space is. Shelving begins at floor level and ends where the ceiling meets the wall because every meter of that journey is a meter of storage that does not consume floor area. The bed platform sits elevated, sometimes dramatically so, because the space beneath it is not dead space, but a second functional zone. Desk beneath the sleeping platform, wardrobe beneath the loft bed, living area beneath the sleeping level in the most compressed solutions. This vertical thinking produces apartments that appear, from their floor plans, to be impossibly small, and that feel, once you are inside them, considerably more generous than the plan suggests. Because the floor plan measures one dimension, and these apartments are designed in three. The furniture in an 18SQM apartment cannot afford to do one thing. Every piece that occupies floor area must justify that area by serving multiple functions, and the designers who solve 18SQM most elegantly are the ones who find pieces that do three things so naturally that the multifunctionality is invisible until it is needed. The dining table that converts to a desk and folds against the wall when neither is required. The ottoman that provides seating, coffee table surface, and the storage of an entire wardrobe season inside it. The sofa whose seat base lifts to reveal a full-length storage compartment, whose back lowers to become a guest bed, and whose armrest flips open to become a side table. The window seat that contains two deep drawers beneath it provides additional seating capacity for the dining table it sits beside, and, when dressed with cushions, becomes the apartment's most comfortable reading spot. Each of these pieces earns its place not by being the cleverest solution available, but by solving three specific problems of this specific apartment simultaneously. And that specificity of solution is what separates 18SQM design from the generic small space furniture catalog. The 18 SQM apartment cannot afford interior walls. Every wall would consume floor area that the apartment does not have. And yet the apartment that is one undifferentiated room, with sleeping, living, cooking, and working all happening in a single undivided space, is an apartment that feels relentlessly present to itself, with nowhere to go to be in a different state of mind. The designers who solve this create rooms without walls, define spaces that the brain reads as distinct without any physical division between them. A specific rug that tells the brain it has entered the living area. A pendant light hanging low over the dining surface that defines the eating zone as precisely as a wall would. A curtain, floor to ceiling, on a ceiling-mounted track that can divide the sleeping area from the living space when drawn and dissolve it completely when open. A change in floor material between the kitchen zone and the living zone that the foot feels before the eye registers. Each of these creates psychological division without consuming physical space. Rooms that exist in perception rather than in construction, and that give the 18 SQM apartment the one quality that floor area alone cannot provide: the experience of moving between different spaces within the same home. Clothing storage is the problem that defeats most small apartment designs before anything else is solved, because the volume of a functioning wardrobe is fixed by the quantity of clothing that needs to be stored, and that volume does not shrink because the apartment is small. The designers who solve wardrobe storage in 18 SQM do not solve it by reducing the wardrobe. They solve it by integrating the storage so completely into the apartment's architecture that it ceases to exist as a separate element and becomes part of the space itself. Floor-to-ceiling built-in wardrobes whose doors are finished in the same material as the wall, so that the entire wardrobe wall reads as a continuous surface rather than as storage furniture. The space beneath the elevated bed platform, precisely dimensioned to receive hanging rails at the correct height and shelf depth at the correct dimension. The unused depth of the wall beside the bathroom door, just 30 centimeters, but 30 centimeters that, multiplied by the full height of the room and the full width of the doorway, provides enough storage for a complete coat collection. In 18 SQM, storage is not added to the apartment. It is grown from its architecture, found in the spaces that the structure of the apartment already contains, and made usable through precise, specific intervention. The kitchen in an 18 SQM apartment is, by necessity, the most precisely designed room in the building, because the kitchen's functional requirements are the most non-negotiable. You can sleep in a smaller bed. You can work at a smaller desk. You cannot prepare food without the minimum spatial requirements for the preparation of food: a surface to work on, a heat source, a means of refrigeration, a sink. The designers who solve the 18 SQM kitchen do so by applying one principle with absolute discipline. Every centimeter of the kitchen must serve the maximum possible number of functions simultaneously. The counter that is exactly deep enough to contain the hob flush with its surface, maximizing prep area to its right and left. The refrigerator positioned beneath the counter rather than beside it, reclaiming the vertical space above for open shelving. The sink positioned in the corner at 45 degrees, saving the linear counter space that a conventionally positioned sink would consume. And the kitchen that is contained entirely within one wall. Cooking, prep, refrigeration, and washing in one continuous linear arrangement, leaving the perpendicular walls free for the storage, living, and sleeping functions that compete for the same 18 square meters. The 18 SQM kitchen is not a small kitchen. It is a kitchen compressed to its functional essence, and it works better, in many cases, than kitchens 4 times its size precisely because no space has been left unaddressed. In an 18 SQM apartment, lighting is not atmospheric. It is structural, a design element that creates the perception of space and division and volume that the floor area is too limited to provide through physical means. Natural light management is the first priority. Every centimeter of window is left unobstructed. No curtains during the day, no furniture positioned to block the light path, no shelving installed in front of the glass. The light enters, travels across pale reflective floors, bounces from wall to wall, and creates a room that feels considerably larger than its dimensions because the eye is constantly following light to surfaces that are further away than they initially appeared. Artificial lighting provides the second layer, not as ambient illumination but as zone definition. The pendant over the dining surface creates a dining room. The floor lamp in the corner of the seating area creates a living room. The warm bedside lamp creates a bedroom. Each light source creates its own small world within the 18 SQM space, and together they produce the experience of an apartment with multiple distinct rooms rather than one room with multiple functions. The material choices in an 18 SQM apartment work differently from material choices in larger spaces. Because in 18 SQM, materials are not chosen for their aesthetic contribution alone, but for their specific spatial effects on a space whose dimensions are visible from every point within it simultaneously. Continuous flooring in a single pale material is the most impactful choice available. When the same pale wood or stone runs uninterrupted from the apartment's entrance to its furthest wall, the eye reads the entire floor area as one continuous surface rather than as a series of zones, and one continuous surface always reads as larger than the sum of its divided parts. The same principle applies vertically. Walls in one consistent color or material, without breaks or contrasting surfaces, create a room whose boundaries are less precisely defined and therefore less confining. Mirror is the one material that genuinely multiplies perceived space in a small apartment. Not the decorative mirror hung for balance, but the strategic mirror positioned to reflect the room's most generous sight line, effectively doubling the visual depth available to the eye at the specific moment it most needs the additional distance. In an 18 SQM apartment, one large leaning mirror positioned to reflect the window and the room beyond it is worth approximately 6 square meters of additional perceived floor area. The bathroom in an 18 SQM apartment is the room that receives the least floor area and demands the most design precision. Because the bathroom's functional requirements are completely non-negotiable and its spatial requirements are irreducible below a certain minimum. The designers who solve the 18 SQM bathroom begin by questioning which of the bathroom's elements can be moved, combined, or repositioned to recover floor area for other uses. The wet room, shower and toilet in the same waterproof space without a shower enclosure, recovers the footprint of the shower tray and the space required to open its door. The wall-hung toilet recovers the floor beneath it, making the bathroom easier to clean and visually larger simultaneously. The vanity unit flush with the wall and extending into the depth of the wall cavity rather than projecting from it recovers the floor space that a conventional vanity consumes. And the mirror that spans the full width of the wall above the vanity doubles the bathroom's perceived size at no spatial cost. The 18 SQM bathroom is, in its best expressions, the room that demonstrates most clearly what the entire apartment represents: that the minimum viable version of anything, designed with complete precision and intention, is not a compromise but a distillation, the essence of the thing, without the redundancy that larger spaces allow their owners to ignore. Every designer who has successfully solved the 18 SQM problem has asked one question before anything else. And it is a question that most people confronting a small space never ask, because the answer requires a specific kind of honesty that is more demanding than choosing the right furniture or the right storage solution. The question is, what does the person who lives here actually do in this space? In what order, at what times, and with what frequency? Not what would be nice to have. Not what every apartment is supposed to contain. What actually happens here? The specific choreography of a specific life lived in these specific 18 square meters. The answer to this question is the design brief. It reveals which functions must be present and which can be eliminated because they never actually happen. It shows which zones need to be adjacent because the activities they contain always follow each other, and which can be separated because they never coincide. It determines which piece of furniture earns its floor area and which can be removed because the activity it supports happens only theoretically. The 18 SQM apartment that fits everything does so not because it found the cleverest storage solution or the most ingenious folding furniture. It does so because a designer asked one honest question about one specific life and then solved for that life, completely and precisely, rather than for the life that most apartments assume their inhabitants are living.